People don't care who you are. They care who they think you are. You could be brilliant, loyal, honest to the core. But if your name is smeared, your image stained, you're finished. This world doesn't reward truth. It rewards perception. And that's what Law 5 is about. Your reputation isn't just a reflection of your character. It's your armor, your currency, your life support. The moment people stop respecting you, your words mean nothing. Your presence means nothing. You become invisible, or worse, a joke. Let me say it straight. Your reputation is the story people tell about you when you're not in the room. And if that story gets corrupted, it doesn't matter how real you are. Your downfall is already in motion. You'll feel it. Friends get cold. Opportunities dry up. Enemies get brave. Why? Because they smell blood. And here's the most savage part of all. You don't even have to mess up. All it takes is one jealous voice, one subtle rumor, one well-placed lie whispered in the right ear. And boom, you're done. That's why smart people protect their name like it's their bank account. That's why legends understand the game. Your image goes ahead of you. It walks into the room before you do. If it's powerful, people treat you with respect, even fear. If it's weak, good luck. And here's the flip side. If you want to take down someone bigger than you, don't swing at them directly. You won't win, but you can do something more deadly. Start planting doubt about them. Subtle, controlled. Let their own shadow turn on them. Once people start questioning someone's character, it's over. Public opinion will do the rest. You won't even have to lift a finger. That's the art of psychological warfare. That's how kings fall. Reputation is everything, because when people believe in you, they protect you, they follow you, they fight for you. But when belief dies, you're just noise. And this world kills noise without mercy. So if someone's aiming for your name, crush them first. Don't wait. Don't play fair. You're not in a church. You're in a battlefield where perception is power and weakness is blood in the water. Guard your name, build your legend, or get erased. Now let's dig deeper. Why is reputation more powerful than reality itself? Why do people fear shame more than death? Let's get into the psychology behind this madness. Why do we fear losing our name more than losing our lives? Because deep down, we don't live in reality. We live in mirrors. Everything we are, everything we believe we stand for, is constantly shaped, polished, and distorted by the eyes of others. You are not who you think you are. You are who they think you are. And that's the real prison. Reputation is social survival. In tribal times, being cast out meant death. Today, it's the same damn thing. But now it comes in the form of silence, canceled invites, opportunities you never hear about, doors that never open. You're not killed, but you're erased. Slowly, painlessly, publicly. The philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre once said, "Hell is other people." But let's go deeper. Hell is other people's judgment, their whispers, their assumptions, their labels. And once they stick you with one, it becomes your cage. Psychologist Carl Jung warned about the persona, the mask we wear to function in society. But he also warned that when people fall in love with your mask, they forget there's a real person underneath. And if you ever remove that mask, they'll crucify you for not being the image they expected. This is the danger. Once you're known for something, you're trapped by it. If your image is strong, you can ride it. If it's weak, it becomes a weight around your neck. Either way, you're not free. You're a product, a myth, a projection. And here's where it gets dark. You can do everything right, be good, loyal, straight-edged, but the human brain isn't built for fairness, it's built for survival. We remember danger, scandal, and shame 10 times more than virtue. One accusation outweighs 100 truths. It's called the negativity bias, and it's wired into every brain on this planet. Arthur Schopenhauer said, "A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom." Why? Because the moment we step into society, we surrender parts of ourselves to survive the eyes of others. We dress for them, we speak for them, we filter ourselves, hoping to be accepted. But that acceptance, it's built on performance, not truth. And this is the root of the problem. We've outsourced our identity. We've handed it over to strangers, bosses, followers, likes, retweets, and coworkers. One slip, one rumor, and the system turns on us like a pack of wolves. So what do people do? They conform. They play it safe. They trade authenticity for applause. And in doing so, they become hollow. Respected? Maybe, but dead inside. Or they play the real game, the power game. They study the battlefield of perception. They guard their reputation like a king guards his castle. And when needed, they destroy their enemies from the shadows, not with fists, but with reputation sabotage, with whispers, not war. Let's not pretend this is about fairness. This isn't about morals. This is about leverage. He who controls the narrative controls reality. And once your enemy is painted as a liar, a fraud, or a snake, it doesn't matter what the truth is. People will remember the stain. Look at history. Look at politics. Look at high school. The game is everywhere. Reputations are destroyed with memes, headlines, or rumors whispered by people with power and no conscience. The battlefield is social, and it never closes. Nietzsche once said, "There are no facts, only interpretations." You better believe that. In the real world, truth is what people agree to believe. And your job? Make sure what they believe about you is powerful, unshakable, respected, or feared. Because if you don't define your reputation, someone else will. And when they do, they'll make sure it serves them, not you. So, the next time you think your reputation doesn't matter, remember this. A man without a strong reputation is a man walking into war without armor. Up next, we're taking the gloves off. You've seen the roots of this problem. Now it's time to face the fallout. Let's talk about what happens when you don't protect your name and how reputations are weaponized to ruin lives. Let's talk consequences, real ones. There's a moment that creeps in when your name begins to rot in the mouths of others. Not a sharp explosion, but a slow erosion. A client suddenly ghosts you. A friend cancels plans. An opportunity passes by without explanation. No red flags, just a quiet drift into exile. That's how reputation dies. Not with a bang, but with silence. Because once doubt is introduced, it doesn't need proof. It just needs time. You see, the brain is lazy. People don't double-check stories. They don't ask questions. They assume. If they hear your name next to the word liar, cheater, or fraud enough times, their mind connects the dots, even when there are no dots to connect. That's the curse of cognitive bias, confirmation bias, specifically. Once a narrative is planted, the human brain starts looking for evidence to support it and ignores anything that contradicts it. So even your most innocent actions will be twisted to fit the lie. You're not being watched, you're being edited. And the editors don't care about accuracy. They care about entertainment. Because in today's world, perception is currency. Your resume? Irrelevant. Your character? Disposable. Your entire identity is one viral rumor away from collapse. And the scariest part? It doesn't even have to be true. We live in an age of reputation capitalism. Every like, comment, review, post, or whisper adds or subtracts from your social value. You could spend years building a fortress of trust, and one spark of gossip can turn it into ash. So what does this do to people? It makes them paranoid, defensive, obsessive. They become actors instead of people. Every word rehearsed, every movement curated, every friendship strategic. And it's not just individuals, it's businesses, celebrities, leaders, presidents, entire legacies built on the illusion of control, only to be undone by one headline, one tweet, one scandal. The fallout is brutal. Some fall into depression, others into vengeance, and some, those who really lose everything, they don't even get to fight back. Because once your reputation is gone, you don't even get to speak. You're not heard, you're not believed, you're dismissed. Think about it. A person with a bad reputation says, "I didn't do it," and people roll their eyes. A person with a golden reputation says the same thing, and people defend them even if they're guilty. It's not about truth, it's about image. This is why ancient generals destroyed enemy statues, burned records, erased names from history books. They knew the real war was about memory. If you could destroy how someone was remembered, you won. They didn't just lose, they never existed. That's the dark side of this law. But it's also your greatest weapon. Because once you understand how fragile reputations are, you realize how powerful it is to plant doubt in your enemies. You don't have to attack them directly. You don't need proof. All you need is precision. Start a rumor, subtle, innocent sounding. Let it crawl through the grapevine. Watch people raise eyebrows. Watch their allies back away. Watch the narrative write itself. And then step back. Let public opinion finish what you started. It's cruel, but this is the same world that will gladly destroy you if you slip up. So don't be naive. Don't wait to be attacked. Preempt, predict, counter. Because the consequences of not defending your name are permanent. Once your reputation crumbles, even your success becomes suspicious. If you win after a scandal, people assume you cheated. If you defend yourself, they call you guilty. If you stay quiet, they call you scared. It's a trap. So you must build a reputation so strong, so respected, so feared, that even if someone dares to attack, the crowd turns on them. That's what power looks like. Not being perfect, not being loved, but being untouchable. Up next, enough defense, enough warnings. Now we turn the blade around. Let's talk about domination. Let's talk about how to use reputation like a weapon and become the kind of person people think twice before speaking against. It's time for rebellion. You've played defense long enough, tiptoeing through social minefields, smiling when you're insulted, staying silent when your name is dragged. All in the name of reputation preservation. But here's the truth. Defensive reputations are fragile. They survive only as long as nobody tests them. But offensive reputations, the kind built through strategy, myth, and fire, those are untouchable. That's the rebellion. That's your escape. So, how do you break free? You don't wait to be judged. You become the judge. You stop trying to be liked and start being respected. You stop defending your name and start building a legend around it. Here's how the greats did it. Julius Caesar was mocked for being weak in his youth. So what did he do? He didn't beg for validation. He went to war. He came back not with excuses, but with conquered territories. Suddenly, the rumors didn't matter. Results rewrote his story. Jay-Z was accused of being a drug dealer, a sellout, a puppet. Did he respond with press conferences? Number. He owned the rumors, turned them into lyrics, and made people pay to hear them. His reputation stopped being a target. It became a brand. And what about Machiavelli? After being exiled, humiliated, and abandoned, he wrote The Prince. Not to beg for forgiveness, but to immortalize himself as a mind too dangerous to ignore. Centuries later, we still whisper his name with caution. That's the rebellion. You take control of the story. You frame yourself, not as flawless, but as formidable. A person whose reputation isn't squeaky clean, but sharp-edged and unforgettable. Here's the shift. Stop hiding from rumors. Start weaponizing perception. When your enemies try to smear you, don't fight back with denials. That's what amateurs do. Professionals let the accusation sit and then twist it. You say I'm too arrogant? Yes, because I've earned it. You say I'm dangerous? Good. Be careful then. Powerful reputations don't beg. They intimidate. You want your name to carry weight in a room, even if you're not in it. You want people to pause before speaking against you. You want enemies to calculate twice before launching an attack, because they know it might cost them more than it costs you. But to get there, you must cultivate 3 traits. Mystery. Never be fully known. Keep a part of yourself just out of reach. The less people know, the more they speculate. And speculation is the soil where legends grow. Control. Control your narrative, or someone else will. If they don't understand you, they'll invent a version of you. So speak with purpose. Move with intent. Make every appearance feel curated, even your silence. Savagery. Yes, savagery. You must be capable of ruin. Not reckless, not loud, but strategic. When someone attacks, you don't just defend. You ruin reputations surgically, quietly, permanently. You want to stop being an easy target? Then stop being predictable. The person who guards their reputation obsessively is boring, easy to read, easy to trap. But the one who controls their image and infects the room with presence, that's the person people fear. That's the person people follow. That's the person whose silence is more powerful than another's speech. And yes, it means becoming a little more dangerous. You have to develop the ability to sit calmly while others burn their own credibility. You have to train yourself to plant doubt without planting your fingerprints. You must learn the difference between noise and legacy. Because at the end of the day, the crowd will believe whoever makes the best story. So don't just protect your reputation. Become a legend. Now, up until now, we've studied the battlefield. We've prepared the weapons. We've learned to fight in the shadows. But there's something even deeper. One last revelation. It's not about reputation anymore. It's about identity. The self beneath the image. The version of you that no rumor can reach. Let's go there. Let's uncover the ultimate truth. Strip away the rumors. Strip away the applause. Take away the likes, the followers, the compliments, the whispers behind your back. What's left? Are you still powerful when nobody's watching? Here's the final truth. Reputation is a mask, but the real power is who you become underneath it. You can spend your life managing perception, weaving narratives, crafting the perfect image, but eventually, the crowd gets bored. They move on. Their attention shifts. The world forgets. And if your identity was tied to their eyes, then so will your worth. You'll become a ghost, a puppet of your own brand, popular and hollow. But here's the twist. Reputation isn't your enemy. It's your tool, a sword, not your soul, a crafted illusion to protect the real you, not replace you. The moment you let your reputation serve you, instead of enslaving you, is the moment you become untouchable. Because now, your sense of power is internal. Now, your enemies can't reach it. Now, you no longer flinch at insults because they're hitting the armor, not your flesh. That's why the final move isn't just guarding your reputation. It's transcending it. Let the world call you arrogant. Let them whisper your name in fear. Let the cowards launch rumors like arrows into the sky. You've built something deeper. You've become someone unshakable. Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe." And he was right. You were taught to please the tribe. You were told to be humble, modest, likable. You were warned, don't make waves. But the truth? Every wave maker in history became a god in the eyes of the future. So break the rules. Be the contradiction. Be feared and respected. Be ruthless and kind. Be adored and hated. Let your reputation confuse them, while your results humble them. This is the apex of Law 5. It's not just about protecting your name, it's about evolving beyond it. Because the most dangerous person in the room is the one who controls their image, but doesn't need it to survive. The one who can vanish into silence or dominate with a single word. The one who could be ruined online today and still walk into a room tomorrow with absolute command. You want to be that person. You want to move through the world like a whisper of danger. You want to be the calm in the room full of noise. You want people to say, "I don't know what it is about them, but I wouldn't mess with them." That's not just power. That's presence. And once you have it, you won't need to chase validation. You won't panic at rumors. You won't explain yourself. Because now, you've become something greater than reputation. A force. And here's the final question. If they stripped you of everything, your titles, your followers, your status, would your presence still shake the room? If the answer is no, then you haven't truly mastered this law yet. But if the answer is yes, then you don't just guard your reputation anymore. You command it. And that is power. Unbreakable, undeniable, eternal. Guard your name. Sharpen your image. But above all, become the storm behind the mask. Because when the world starts talking, let them talk. By the time they finish their sentence, you've already won.